Hey, I'm Jay Kumar, the BassBlaster, and this is your Abu Garcia REVO and Humminbird Minn Kota top 5 tips, techniques, and trends of the month. Number 1. Did you see the epic battle at the end of the MLF Bass Pro Tour event on Nickajack in Tennessee? It went something like this. Superman was, of course, Jacob Wheeler, and Batman, in this case, was Jake Lawrence, who apparently spent his entire youth looking for shell beds on the bottom of Tennessee River lakes, or something like that. Anyhow, it was mano a mano, and they both had fish on at the end of the tournament, right up until the end, but Jake won the deal. And the way he did it was a bluegill 3-hole punch. Yeah, not that kind of 3-hole punch, and I guess thinking about it was more like a bluegill hole 1, 2, 3 punch.
Punch him, punch him, punch him.
Yeah, like that. Bluegill were in super shallow holes in the grass, and of course the bass were there too. Now Jake said because of the skinny clear water, stealth was the deal. Stealthy first on the quiet Minn Kota Ultrex Quest trolling motor, and then staying way off the fish and making long casts. Now his first punch was a buzzbait, a 3/8 ounce Buckeye Berserk buzzbait. Black with a gold blade, which he said is his standard combo for bluegill eaters. Now on the back was a Frog Factory baby ribbit, formerly the Stanley ribbit, in either American Bullfrog or black. Now when the bass stopped smashing that, he went to his second punch. A weightless green pumpkin Yamamoto D-shad on a 5/0 owner haymaker hook, which he loves. And then after they got off that, he went to the old reliable, which is a wacky rig Yamamoto Senko. No forward-facing sonar needed, and he caught the winning fish on a buzzbait.
Lawrence is hooked up. Has to have it over the gunnel of the boat before time expires. It also must be 2 pounds. Lawrence gets it in. He'll get it on. Jake Lawrence.
Now, why was he fishing that bait at the end of the tournament rather than the old reliable Senko? He said that forward-facing sonar has really taught us all that bass really prefer to feed up. So he had confidence in that buzzbait. Either way, when's the last time you saw a major tournament won on a buzzbait, man?
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Oh man, it wasn't that long ago, was it? And it was this universe. Number 2.
It takes a minnow to catch a barracuda.
Well, I'm not sure about that, but lots of times it takes pinging a minnow to catch a bass. Except when that's too slow. You got that? Now, a lot of people think a jigging minnow with forward-facing sonar is like this.
It is magic.
Well, it's not like that if the bass, which have been caught and released multiple times, have seen it a lot. They're like, "We gotta get fooled again." And that's what was going on at Lake Chickamauga in Tennessee, which was the first leg of the MLF Bass Pro Tour event won by Jake Lawrence. Now, Jake's a forward-facing sonar ace and has won a lot of money on it, especially on Tennessee River lakes. But he figured out pretty quick that wasn't going to be the deal at the Chick. So he pivoted to the tried and true. He said, I couldn't generate very many bites on a minnow or anything slow. Seemed like if they had time to investigate any bait, they would follow it but never would bite. You really had to move something fairly quickly to trigger a reaction. I caught them using a bunch of different crankbaits. One was a Bill Lewis MR12 and also a boot tail swim bait on a 3/4 ounce head. Wind it through there as quickly as you could and trigger that reaction. All right, so a couple takeaways from this deal. One is, just like some fish are getting wise to forward-facing sonar, they're also figuring out the minnow. Now, not all of them everywhere, but on pressured lakes, pressured tournament lakes, for sure. Another takeaway is that the old tried and true method of firing up a school or group with crankbaits still works, even on a lake where the fish have seen that more than most. And after that crankbait bite dies, wind that swim bait through there. In other words,
Back to the future. It's like Back to the Future.
exactly. Or maybe future proves past? Something like that. Number 3. Do you remember the older days of forward-facing sonar? You know, like 2 or 3 years ago?
Boy, those were the days, huh?
Back in ye oldie days of forward-facing sonar, the only ping bait, the #1 ping bait, was a minnow, and a smaller one. Jason Christie won the 2022 Bassmaster Classic partly through pinging spotted bass with a 3-inch Yum FF sonar minnow. Then Gussie Gustafson won the 2023 Bassmaster Classic pinging a 4-inch Z-Man scented jerk shads. Then Jacob Wheeler and Dustin Connell won what seems like about a dozen tournaments, pinging the 4¼ inch Rapala Crush City freeloader and the 3½ inch Crush City Mooch minnow. So you can see we've been in that 3 to 4 inch minnow range, but now the guys are well beyond that.
You're not in Kansas anymore.
No, we're not, because the fellas are going much bigger now. Last year we talked about how the pros were going to 6 and even 7-inch Z-Man jerk shads for fishing for smallmouths up north, and now it's for largemouths and even spotted bass too. Why? Well, it appears to be less about bait fish or forage size and more about profile.
Profile.
That's right, Tom, profile, but not side profile. It's more about rearward facing profile, or you could say the cross section of the bait, meaning it's how the bass sees the bait from behind, or actually a little bit underneath and behind. It's such a thing now that the Yum FF sonar minnow now comes in 5-inch, and other baits are getting bigger too, like the Depth Sakamata shad, which goes up to 8 inches. And the Cast Echo, a popular ping bait that now comes in 7.2. And all these baits are on Tackle Warehouse, by the way, which of course means bass fishermen are buying them and fishing them. So get another minnow box and fill her up.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
I mean, you would know, Joker. Number 4. All right, since the pinging minnows are getting bigger and the braid and fluoro are getting heavier, it's no surprise that the rods the pros are using to ping a minnow are getting heavier or stiffer or more powerful too. All right, not Mac Sabbath heavier, but just a little heavier and sometimes. What does a little heavier mean?
Saturday night, I'd like to make my girl, but right now I can't make ends meet.
Yeesh, hopefully heavier than that. All right, heavier than your average minnow pinging rod basically means going from a medium light action to a medium. But not just any medium. I needed some insight, so I asked this guy. That's Abu Garcia's Andrew Wheeler, who knows more about rods and reels than 99.99% of people walking around on the planet right now. Like if NASA wanted to go fishing on the moon, they'd call him. Anyhow, Andrew confirmed that guys have gone away from medium light to more of a 7-footish medium action rod. A great dock skipping shaky head rod or Nico rig rod, a lot of guys have transitioned to that rod for minnow shaking. You can still throw a light bait and it has a lot of back end to fight bigger fish. Then he talks specifically about this rod, the 7'1" medium Abu Garcia Veritas BFS spin rod, which by the way is $100 right now on Tackle Warehouse and other places. He said the secret to it is it has almost a medium light tip, and down at the bottom it's almost medium heavy in the butt section. The medium light tip is for casting the bait and also presenting it so the fish eats the bait. There's not that resistance there, almost like how you want a cranking rod. But when you hook the fish, you've got a lot more power and control. Now, Abu also has the same BFS rod, same length and action and everything, in their top-of-the-line Xenon series, and Bassmaster Elite Pro Shane LaHue uses it for pinging a minnow, Nico rigs, and other stuff.
We're live scoping a ton now. We're shaking a minnow a lot, as everybody likes to call it. So this rod for me is perfect for that. It's also a great like Nico setup, which we do a lot with live scoping now. I'm actually rigging this one up now for Nico rigging a 7-inch max scent hitworm, and it's the reason I like it. I can cast that a really long ways. Number one, with that lighter tip, but it's got enough backbone to be a good wacky worm. minnow type rod.
Now, BFS means bait finesse system, which used to mean ultralight bait casting. Now, obviously, that term is applied to spinning gear as well. Either way, it's meant for casting really light baits. So I asked Shane why he uses a BFS rod instead of just a regular 7'1" medium spinning rod.
I think it really starts in the first 3 guides of the rod. Just the tip is very, very soft, but then you have enough backbone back here. And with the 7'1", you know, you can really lean on those fish.
There you have it. Now, Andrew said a really good reel for these forward-facing sonar techniques is the Abu Garcia REVO Rocket spinning reel. It's the fastest spinning reel on the market. It picks up lines so fast that you can get your bait in and fired back out faster than the next guy, and more casts in a day should equal more fish. After that, all you have to do is shake it. I think we gotta shake it a little faster than shaking a Polaroid, but you get the picture. Number 5. You know what's up in jigland?
Purple?
You guessed it. That's right, purple jig skirts. I don't mean once in a while or once in a lifetime. I mean all the dang time, all over the country. Here's a couple cases in point. One is Trey McKinney. He almost always fishes a PB&J jig. Same color and used to be the same jig everywhere. Another case in point is fellow young Elite Series pro and die-hard jig man Tyler Williams. I don't think he ever puts down that 3/4 ounce greenfish little rubber jig. And in that video, I think he's showing one of his signature colors. The other one, called T-Bug, looks like this. There's that purple again. And finally, check out these skirt colors from the recent Abu Garcia College Championship on Wheeler Lake in Alabama. A little purple, a little pink, some blue. Now, what all these jigs are not, obviously, is the typical black and blue or green pumpkin. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just interesting that all these younger guys are getting into purple skirts.
Excuse me?
Hey, sorry, man, we're just talking about jig skirts here for bass fishing. Anyhow, fish science will tell you that bass see blues and purples very poorly, which no bass fisherman will ever believe because of black and blue, and going back to the old days of the OG cream grape worms and June bug, and so on. Now, sometimes purple is for sure the deal, but nationwide, all the time? Is it the new black and blue sorta? Man, I'm not sure what's up, but it is something. Maybe that overdue jig skirt color revolution is getting momentum. Queensryche, baby. Is the revolution calling you? Only one way to find out, man. All right, that's all I got for you this month. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Abu Garcia REVO and Minn Kota Humminbird. See you next month with the top tips, trends, and techniques. God bless you.